A little WNBA action from a Wednesday night around the league. Also in the home stretch right before the postseason, about 4 or 5 games remaining for all 12 clubs around the WNBA. In history made last night in Indianapolis, no, not by Caitlin Clark, but by jaWilson, the best basketball player on planet Earth. 27 points, 12 boards last night against the Fever to lead Las Vegas into Indy, and they pick up an 86-75 win. The Aces did drop a marquee game on Sunday to the New York Liberty in that title rematch. Of course, jaWilson did not play. She did last night, and the Aces cover as a 4.5-point favorite on the road. 27 points, 12 rebounds for jaWilson. It was a jumper in the final 30 seconds of the opening half that moved her past Jewell Loyd, who set the record last year for the most points recorded in a single season in WNBA history. She needed to get past 939. She did, and ended up with a tally of 956 after the victory over Indiana.
It's pretty incredible when you see it on a night-to-night basis because, you know, you see some of the statistics and the stat lines here. And now with the, I don't know if it's just better athletes coming into the NBA. They're just in a better setting because jaWilson, it's like 25-10 every night. That's unheard of statistics here. And it's not as if they're playing as long as like an NBA game would be where you can accumulate those statistics. She's been absolutely phenomenal. And when you move into the playoffs, you already know the Aces are a good team, won the world championship before. But when you're like the outside jumper isn't working and she can just kill you on the low blocks or inside the paint, that's just demoralizing for the other team. But again, we talk about Shohei Ohtani with what he does on a night-to-night basis. It's a shame that sometimes you look at jaWilson and say, 27-12, yep, that's what she's supposed to do. Those are incredible stat lines in the WNBA that she does on a night-to-night basis. One of the best, if not maybe, Ben, the best season of all time from a WNBA player.
Completely agreed, DRS. You're laying juice for jaWilson to record 20-10 and the Aces to win each and every time. Again, that is the expectation. Las Vegas' expectation as well is to contend for a WNBA championship, try to become the first 3-time repeat champ since before this new millennium. They were the first since the Sparks in the early 2000s to win back-to-back WNBA titles. They beat the Liberty in a 5-game series, winning 3 of the first 4. Now it's New York, booked as the favorite. And the Aces haven't been nearly as stellar as they were a year ago. They were just 6-5 since the All-Star and Olympic break entering last night. For comparison's sake, they were 34-6 the entirety of last season. And the Fever were playing really good ball and still are. They've won 8 of 11 since that Olympic break. In 6 of their last 8, they've already clinched their first playoff appearance since 2016. So last night, we've got the MVP runaway favorite and the Rookie of the Year runaway favorite as well. jaWilson facing off against Caitlin Clark. Not a great shooting night for Cece, just making 1 3, 16 points, 3 boards, and 6 dimes. DRS snapping a 5-game streak of Caitlin Clark putting up at least 25 points and 8 assists in 5 consecutive games.
Yeah, the defense was on point there for the Aces, no question about it. And also, so many times we talk about the WNBA and how they match up and say, boy, why are they putting this game on this day? Well, on a non-football night, you take a look at the Aces and the Fever. I bet you they did some pretty good ratings across the league because everybody likes to watch the Aces with their star power and then Caitlin Clark of the Fever. Even though that game was 86-75, probably had some really good ratings in that one. And good for them. We are heading down the stretch into the playoffs here. Let's see some of these teams, some upsets down the stretch, but also more importantly, you say if something, the top 4, that's probably the teams that you're going to be looking at winning the WNBA at this point, running away with things.
When you look at the standings right now, all right, a 12-team league, so 8 of them make the postseason. Last year, only 4 teams reached the playoffs with a winning record. Right now, the top 6 all have a winning record, including Indiana. Phoenix has already clinched a playoff berth despite being 2 games below 500. So, again, as we look at those WNBA title odds, it is still that tier of 2 at the top, the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. But keep an eye on the Minnesota Lynx, who have been great this year. And, of course, the Connecticut Sun can do it all. Interesting game in the playoff realm last night out in Chicago. The Washington Mystics go into the Windy City as a short 1.5-point favorite and win by 30-plus over Chicago. Of course, the Sky without Angel Reese for the end of this regular season. Her season done with the wrist injury that she announced over the weekend. But the Mystics now only a game behind the Sky for that 8th and final playoff spot in the WNBA.